Yeah, my mind was always made up. It was just waiting on the right time to announce it. Getting information from a lot of people, but I want to compete. That's kind of who I am. That's what I want to do. I look forward to doing everything here. It's kind of the way I was brought up and who I am. So throwing really wasn't a question the whole time. It was just a matter of time until we told somebody about it.
Blake, coming off the season that you had at UCF as a program, the team here at the Combine, how far would you say the Knights have come from the early days of George to where they are now?
Yeah, it's been a great journey. The guys that were there before, myself and the teammates that I played with these past couple seasons have done a great job laying the foundation at UCF. Coach Ulrich has done a phenomenal job there, and getting that program where it is today. Going 12-1 and winning the BCS game is huge. And I know they're on the path to keep that kind of success up.
Blake, how about you personally? Your meteoric rise in the last year, and do you feel like you belong at this combine with the elite talent that's here?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm invited. I believe that I can compete with any guy here, and that's why I'm doing everything I'm doing. That's why I'm throwing. That's why I'm running, doing all this stuff. Why wait till pro day when you have an opportunity to make your first impression here in Indianapolis? Grew up watching this as a kid and dreamed of competing in it. Why would I sit anything out and do any of that kind of stuff? So just excited to be here and honored to be here, but definitely believe I belong here.
Like, if the Texans go with the quarterback and keep the number 1 pick, what skill set of yours should they consider over a prospect like Manziel or obviously Bridgewater?
Yeah, I think kind of the skill set I possess is, being able to extend plays, being able to handle a lot of offense.
Wisconsin wide receiver Jared Aberderis, table 5.
A lot of things as far as handling offense, making all the throws. Being trustworthy. I think making the right decisions on and off the field, not embarrassing the franchise or your last name. I think is huge, especially when you're playing quarterback in the National Football League. I think those things, the competitiveness, I think are all traits that are great to have as a quarterback, and hopefully there's other teams that believe that.
Do you feel like you can excite a fan base, like you have a wow factor? A lot of times when people are talking about Manziel, particularly with the Texans pick, being the Texas kid, what he could do to invigorate that city. What do you feel like you can do when it comes to the wow factor and inspiring a fan base?
Yeah, I got no idea. I have no clue how I could inspire a fan base. I know I do everything I could to win, and that should be inspiring
St. Louis
enough for a fan
Rams
base
General
and make
Manager
them as happy
Les
as they can be.
Snead, Podium A.
And that's
St.
all I
Louis
would try
Rams
to do,
General
is fit
Manager
in,
Les
find your role on the
Snead,
team,
Podium A.
and contribute in whatever way you can to help that team be successful.
Blake, there's the thought that it may take you a while to
You could play in cold weather. I know you played in Florida a lot. But
Yeah.
how do you think you'd adapt to playing in a city like Cleveland?
I think it'd be fine. We had the opportunity to play SMU in Dallas this year, and it was like 12, 13 degrees, and we had no problems with it. That's the coldest game I ever played in. Like you said, we do play in Florida and a lot around the Southeast, but we had some opportunities to play in some cool games and handled it well. So that was definitely a good thing to be able to experience.
Blake, there's a thought that out of the top 3 quarterbacks, it may take you the longest to become a starter. Are you comfortable with that? That it may take 1 or 2 years for you to take over a team's role?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. There's no doubt I need coaching, I need help. I think everybody in the game does. There's reasons why all these greats out there are continuing to play and continuing to work in the off season and get coached. 100%. I need coaching, I need help, and I'm going to work my butt off to do everything I can. Like I said, to be the best that I can be, to help the team be the best that they can be.
Blake, what areas do you think you need to work on the most to take that next step?
I think everything. That's what I've been doing these past 2 months. Has been able to really try and polish everything off. Making sure everything looks consistent. When you have a proper pocket, everything's consistent. You put your own platform. You're throwing the ball with the same mechanics and doing that whole thing, and everything's going the way you want it to go.
Blake, you talked about growing up, you didn't really ever have a quarterback coach that was focused on some of those fundamentals and techniques. And you have, in the last couple months, been really zoned in on that footwork, throwing motion. What has that been like for you? Are you seeing things that maybe you didn't see before?
Yeah, it's been awesome. To work with Jordan Palmer has been a huge help. From videotaping stuff every day to doing board work and all that. But that was definitely a big thing, for him to videotape me while I was throwing and then make corrections and see it. see the changes, see what I was doing wrong, what I needed to be doing, and how I got there. So it's been a lot of fun, it's been a lot of work, and it's still a work in progress.
Do you think you are the best quarterback in this draft, and if so, why?
I don't think that's up for me to decide. What I'm going to come here and do everything I can to make sure that when I leave, there's other people saying that besides me. That's the goal. The goal is to be the top quarterback prospect. That's why I left college early. That's why I came out, was to be the top quarterback prospect, and I believe I can do that.
Like you say, you want to work, you want to learn from a guy. How about Bill O'Brien, a guy that's worked with Tom Brady? Have you thought about what it's like to work with him?
Yeah, I think it'd be unbelievable. The track record that he has is awesome. So I think to have the opportunity to play for a guy like that would be very special.
Was that Penn State game kind of a turning point for the season? How are you going to remind Coach O'Brien of that result?
I don't know if I'll bring that up, but that was a great game. Early in the year, faced some adversity in a hostile environment, and really got kind of acclimated to playing in places like that. We did it again a couple times later in the year. Like at Louisville and stuff of that sort. But that was a huge game that kind of kept the momentum rolling for our team this season.
Did you kind of notice the tension around the program that escalated after that game?
Yeah, when you have success of that magnitude, you're beating a school like Penn State. It's kind of been a perennial powerhouse for however many years, and we're UCF who hasn't been around very long and just got out of Conference USA, and you go up and beat Penn State in Penn State. That's a huge task, that's a huge accomplishment, and so it definitely drew some attention, and we were able to keep that rolling throughout the year.
After not being heavily recruited, when did you start to think that you were an NFL quarterback, and then when did you make the jump to I'm one of the best ones?
Yeah, I don't think I'll know until May 8th, but I'll do everything I can and unturned every stone to make sure that when I'm sitting there on draft day, I'm not looking back saying, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that. I'll have done everything in my power to be the best that I can be by that day.
What would you say differentiates you the most from the other quarterback prospects that are here?
Differentiates, like I said, I think being able to do things in the pocket, being 6'5", 230, being able to throw off platform, extend plays with my feet, stuff of that sort, able to handle a lot of offense, able to make the throws, being trustworthy, I think are all things that are key in being the top quarterback prospect.
Are there any quarterbacks in today's game that you might model your game after?
Yeah, there's a couple. I grew up, Brett Favre was my hero. Just idolized the toughness and passion he played the game with. But guys playing now, I think physically, like Ben Roethlisberger and Andrew Luck, I think are both great athletic guys that extend plays and throw off platform and do that. I think mentally, I think Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. By no means am I those guys. They're the best at what they do. As far as running the no huddle, controlling the defense, controlling tempo, and things of that such. But 100% believe that eventually I can do what those guys do, and that's the goal.
Say a blend.
Say that again.
Say a blend. A blend. You'll be a blend of.
Yeah, that's the goal, to be a blend of the best of the best.
Has there been a reaction from NFL teams to your size, seeing you for the first time?
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a couple guys that said, you're bigger than we thought you were, but that's about it.
When other people have talked about Manziel, at times questions have come up about maturity concerns or what have you. In what ways do you think you stand out with that particular characterization as possibly edging out a prospect like that in that category?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to talk to him a little bit these past 2 days, and he's a great kid. Enjoyed talking to him. But as far as I don't know. I can't speak on how I do this compared to how he does that. All I know is that I'll be trustworthy. I won't embarrass an organization off the field by making any bad decisions or anything like that. Won't embarrass my family's name, and will be a trustworthy guy, a trustworthy player.
George O'Leary worked with Bill O'Brien many years ago. Did he talk to you about Bill O'Brien, and what did you learn about him?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of discussion about that. I knew that he had coached under Coach O'Leary a while back, and that they still remained in contact and had a relationship. And then it was kind of a big deal when we went up there and played Penn State this year that that they were coaching against each other, but outside of that, there wasn't much talk.
Blake, watching the bowl game, you got to showcase a couple of really exciting receivers that you were throwing to. Just curious if you could kind of. I'm sure they're going to be here sooner than later. I'd just like to hear a little bit about them.
Yeah, they're all great. You know, a kid coming out this year, Jeff Godfrey's a phenomenal receiver, and then we got, you know, really, there's 5 guys that are still there, and J.J. Wharton, Josh Reese, Jackie Williams, Brashard Perryman, and Rennell Hall are all phenomenal receivers, and I was very lucky to be able to throw to those guys these past 2 years, or 3 years really. You know, they made me look really good.